Hey everyone, this is the Villains Demand. We're your hosts. I'm JVD Justin Von Doom.
And I'm Evan the Great.
And this is episode 11 for our wrestling show Angles and Promos on YouTube. Hopefully that's where you're subscribed listening to us. This week we're going to cover 205 Live and NXT. So first we'll get to 205 Live episode 24 from May 9th, 2017. We said this last week. I'm going to say it again this week. 205 Live is awesome.
Yep.
Matches are great.
It seemed like they did even better over there.
Yeah, I'm telling you. First you open up with Jack Gallagher.
Yeah.
People love that. That's his turf. But man, and online people just like, oh, I don't watch it. Why would I watch it? And the thing is, I think what it is, and I said it last week, is those guys watched the first couple episodes, which was kind of boring.
Yeah.
And now these guys are developed, and it's getting good. The matches, out of all the WWE stuff this week, this was my favorite. I think 205 Live was solid all the way through.
It was great.
So let's dive on through. First, we get Jack Gallagher, who opens up to a big pop because they're in the UK, and calls out Austin Aries. I like the little toast they had.
Oh, it was great.
He's bringing talking about the pie, and they bring out the drinks, and he does everything he can and what you expect from being over there.
Is like, I drink wine. Hey, boo!
yeah.
Well, I'll drink this.
Yeah. So basically, they forge an alliance.
Yep.
And this kind of plays off from what's been going on recently, the match that you didn't get to see from Raw from TJP and Jack. And I really like this because they come out, TJP and them do, and they attack Aries and Jack, and then they get the best of them. What I like about the Jack Gallagher and TJP is they're complete opposites of each other.
Yes.
And basically you get swag, which is stupid. I hate when people say they have swag. Like literally people like that should be shot. Versus class.
Yeah.
And it's like you got the dab versus a handshake.
Yep.
And I really think that's really good to put them two up against each other. And they had a really good match on Raw.
I wish I could have seen it.
Man, it was good. To me, it was the best part of Raw from this week. But let's talk about the wine thing. So they get the beers at the end. And man, Austin Aries looked horrible. Like he's all dripping. It's like, I'm going to be Steve Austin.
Yeah, he tried to drink like 10% of the beer.
Oh man, I don't even know if it was that much. But he was spilling it everywhere. Jack Gallagher puts it down.
Yeah.
British people do. So, we get this backstage thing between Noam Dar, Alicia Fox, and Rich Swann. I hated the fact that he got back with Alicia Fox.
Last week, our disapproval of the match, that's the part I hated when he got back with her. I'm like, what?
Yeah, but the way he acts during this, it's almost like they're about to make him a badass.
Yeah.
It's like you've seen him turn a new leaf. Like the silliness is over.
I love that he beat Rick Swann last week.
Yeah. I mean, but I think you're about to see a different Noam Dar. I think you're going to see the Noam Dar that people know.
Yep.
Like what he was known for. And I really thought that this promo really shined with him backstage. So obviously that's a rivalry that's not over yet.
Yep.
So let's get on to what I believe was match of the week.
Damn, I got co-match of the week.
Oh, you have a co-match of the week.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I can probably already guess what the other one is for that. So, Tony Nese versus Mustafa Ali. This match was solid.
It was the best match. It was the best match I've seen. I won't say ever, but in a long freaking time. And it blew me away.
Besides what Neville and Aries has done here recently, match-wise, I think this is one of the best matches on 205 Live that you've seen. I would say might be the best match that they've had on the show so far.
I've got this down as the co-match of the week, and I've got this down as the move of the week inside this match.
Okay, so what is your move of the week? Because I had my move of the week on this match
When
too.
I say this, you're going to be like, what the hell? The move of the week is what Tony Nese does. He dodges a clothesline, lands on his back, and he flips up into a combo leg sweep. and it looked fucking awesome.
Okay, I have that noted down as some of the highlights. My favorite thing is where he goes, slides under his feet, takes his feet out from under him, lands outside, gets back in, does the moonsault.
Yes.
That's what I thought was the move.
You know what? I'm starting to notice this, man. Every week I watch Tony Nese, and Justin's been watching Ali, and they tore it down. I'm starting to think Tony Nese can go a long way in this company.
Man,
I will not be shocked if he one day hits the main roster and becomes a champion.
Man, the bad thing is though his size.
He ain't very big, but damn, can he do some shit?
Yeah, he can. Both
and
these
he's
guys,
muscular and everything.
Both these guys can.
But he ain't very tall.
Yeah.
And shit, man, both these guys are so badass.
But here's the thing, though. If you got rid of your bigger guys in WWE like Cena, Orton, Sheamus, is all tall guys.
Yeah.
And then your hot guys right now, there's all these guys that come off from the Indies like Styles, Nakamura's a little bit taller both some guys, but like Kevin Owens and stuff. He's like all their size, Balor, man. He's their size, so then he does fit in.
He's so good. He's so good.
Yeah. But
I'm not taking away from him with Ali. He's also really good.
Man. The flip he does over the rope, God, man, he got some air on that. And then when they're outside by the table, Ali gets up on the barrier, and the way he undercuts his legs, it's awesome. I don't think I've ever seen that. If I have, it never dawned upon me until just at that moment.
Yep.
But like this match, like, okay, if you're Dave Meltzer, this is a 5-star match, easily. To me, it's like Omega and Okada, like it's a 6-star match. For what it was, the amount of time that they had, it's a very awesome match.
It took me, I knew it was going to be good, but it took me off guard how good it was. I had to like completely drop everything I was doing and pay 100% every single detail because it's awesome.
Yeah, and here's the thing. The match was so good, I immediately went back, like, as soon as it was over, and watched the whole thing again.
Yeah.
Because, okay, we keep talking about how good 205 Live is. I mean, guys are starting to build their characters. The matches are awesome. Like I said, this is probably the best match they've had on the show so far.
Yeah.
And we're at 24 episodes. And it's pretty freaking solid. So, very, very impressive showing by these two guys. And here's the thing, that backstage you had Drew Gulak watching Ali, which he's getting mad about the no-fly zone. I expected him to come out, and I'm glad that he didn't.
No.
So here's the thing. They mentioned that him and Tony Nese are friends, because they did. They were a tag team in the Dusty Rhodes Classic last year, and I was really big on them being a tag team together. So does this turn into like a triple threat between these three guys? Because I can see where Nese and Ali will have a rematch like next week, and then Drew Gulak interferes because he's already interfered in one of them, and then where Nese turns on him.
They have to, or they won't have nothing to do with Gulak. So they're going to have to make it a triple threat.
You think so? Which makes it even better because you've got Drew Gulak, who's your grappler, who needs to do more of that stuff.
Yeah.
Last week he was just horrible. You got Nese, who is, if you look at the two guys, he's your showboat and he's your striker.
Yeah.
And then Ali's your high flyer. So you've got like 3 different distinct styles that could actually do something really, really good together.
Man, that match would be awesome.
Yeah, like I said, man, match of the week, easily. I would say this is easily, off the top of my head, maybe top 6-7 matches of the year for WWE. It's really good. The amount of time they had, really awesome. Can't stop talking about it, as you can tell.
Yes.
So, we get Daivari in the back.
I forgot about that.
Bumping into Tozawa. Tozawa is not what mattered during that. I really like Daivari's look.
Yeah.
His look reminded me of the Iranian Razor Ramon.
Yeah, you're right.
He did. And the thing is, okay, when the whole faction with the Singh brothers and Jinder started, and I'd said this, I don't know if I said this. I wrote it down. I remember scratching it. I think you said it. Yeah. He should join those guys. Yeah. And then you look at his look. His look fits Jinder Mahal's music.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit Jinder Mahal, but Jinder Mahal should have kept his original music with what he had going on. And I'm going to call timeout on 205 Live because I meant to bring this up on SmackDown. And I know it's horrible that we're already on our next episode. I just thought about this. The pictures Jinder Mahal took with the WWE title.
Yeah.
He looked horrible without his clothes on with that title. But, man, he looked pretty badass when he had his clothes on. He had the turban on and everything.
I started talking about that last time where he was, last week I started talking about that. It started to show out. He's like, you got to earn that belt.
Yeah, you got to earn it.
I thought that was cool.
But I really like that they're giving Daivari this attitude.
Yeah.
Because now his character is going to start showing. So really right now, you look at everybody that's a mainstay on 205 Live, Mustafa Ali's the only guy without one. So and he's being a heel. They really need good heels. So what you're getting with Daivari is pretty good. Hopefully he'll start running around in a limo now.
That'd be funny.
It is. So he bumps into Tozawa, which leads to the main event. It's Brian Kendrick versus Tozawa. Now last week we had said this is about time this needs to be over.
Yeah. Not knowing I was going to try to finish it.
Yeah. So the match was good. Nothing special. It opened up really good because they've got a heated rivalry. They're chopping the shit out of each other.
It had some really badass moves in this match.
Yeah, it did. The sliced bread
so
number
bad?
2 off the steps.
I wrote that down.
Pretty awesome, wasn't
Sliced
it?
bread off stairs.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome, right?
He did that. He did a dragon sleeper suplex into a headlock.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then Tozawa did a bunch of all his normal shit. This match was so good, but it was held back because Tony Nese and Mustafa Ali
stole the show.
And I don't know if they planned it like that, but this match was also really good. But I got a new segment. It's called Chant of the Week.
Oh, yeah?
And I don't know if you heard this, but the crowd was chanting, "This is haha."
I did not catch that. Really?
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
And I was like, what am I hearing? And I got up and that's what they were saying. And I'm like, that is so awesome. I hope they start doing that now. During the match when he was wrestling, they was chanting.
Man, that just really shows you how over he is then. So here's the thing. Do you feel like this was the end of this rivalry?
No. There's no way. They did have one bad thing in that match. I wrote it down. I thought the finish, I wrote down the botch finish when Kendrick attacks him after the match. There's a botch finish. How did it finish? I wrote botch finish. And
I don't know. You've confused me, so I can't.
I wrote botch finish, and I can't remember what I was writing.
But anyways, it's not over. It needs to be.
No.
And like, okay, so.
Oh, also after the match was awesome. Sorry. And this is how you know it's not over when he puts his head in the steel stairs.
That's what I was about to get to. Because it's not over.
Yeah.
And he really brutalizes him. That's why I was asking, is it over? Because so far you've not seen anything that brutal on this show yet.
No, it's really brutal.
Yeah, it's like I would like to say, oh, that's like some ECW stuff, but it's not. That's a way to end somebody's career.
Yep.
So that's why I was asking, is it over?
No.
I mean, does he put him out of commission
It's
with
funny
this
because
for a while?
For a long time I was like, it's got to be over. Then I watched it, I was like, no, it can't be over.
Okay, so is it over for now? And Tozawa takes a back seat. He's off the show for a while.
Man, I don't want him to take a back seat though.
But here's the thing, though.
He's so big right now.
He is. He's huge. But here's the thing. If you keep doing this, like, how are you going to end it?
Yeah.
And, okay, if they go by the lessons he's got, like...
Well, they say Tozawa is him and he's going to be over there with NXT when they go over to London. They're going to take Neville and Jack Gallagher, and then they show him on the picture too.
So maybe this is his way of getting it out. Like, this is his way of being injured and be off TV.
Yeah, and I bet he's going to wrestle over there on that circuit. He'll be off TV, which gives you time to push your Arabian guy or whatever.
Oh, Daivari.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing. Okay, so you brought that up. Who do you put Daivari against? Because here's the thing. When that happened, that's what I thought. Okay, this is going to be the end of Tozawa and Brian Kendrick, and then they're going to push Daivari and Tozawa. No, Kendrick destroyed him at the end of the match. So,
who
do you put Daivari against now? Okay, so we still got Neville and Aries.
Yeah.
You've got Jack and TJP.
Yeah.
You've got Nese and Ali, which you've got Drew Gulak lurking there.
Yeah.
For the moment, you've got Brian Kendrick, Tozawa, and then you've got Daivari.
I guess you bring
You
back
still got
Cedric.
you still got Rich Swann and Noam Dar. So I mean,
You had to bring back Cedric Alexander to have him fighting. That's the only other person.
yeah, he's the only guy that's floating around that could do it.
And man, he's got to come back and start doing stuff because he's a badass.
Yeah, he's a really good wrestler. I mean, the whole rivalry he had with Jack Gallagher was really good.
Yep.
So the question, I guess, from SmackDown 205 Live, is who does Daivari fight?
Yeah.
Okay, and here's the thing. Okay, say you bring back Cedric Alexander.
Yeah.
Do you let him beat Daivari if you're
No.
pushing?
Daivari beats him.
Okay, but do you let Cedric Alexander, who, I mean, literally is going to be one of the most popular people when he comes back on 205, lose when he first comes back?
No, it can't be clean. But I think if you put Daivari as a villain, maybe because you don't see a lot of 205 cheaters besides Brian Kendrick, and he really don't cheat. He just uses the ring attire to his advantage.
Yeah, which is really good.
But this guy will actually straight up cheat.
Yeah, he's a cheater.
Yeah.
So who does Daivari feud with? It's a question that's going to be really unanswered except for Cedric Alexander. So overall on the Integrate report card, scorecard, what do you give 205 Live?
I give it a B plus. I want to say A, but they had a great match. They had another great match, but I don't know, man. I don't even know why I made it a B plus.
I give it an A because you got two good matches, and then all your interview promos, or your backstage interview promo stuff is all good build up. Like there is nothing bad.
There ain't no bad stuff about it.
So how do you give it a B plus?
The only thing I gave it a B in my whole segment was I like the opening scene, but I don't. This TJP, he ain't. I like him, but he ain't selling it for me, and that's why I gave it a B on the opening segment. But take that away, it's an A. I'm gonna have to go A.
Yeah, because how's your co-match of the week and your move of the week in here?
It's in the same one.
So, but
and my chant of the week.
Yeah, this is hot. Man, how did I miss that? I guess I was just so caught up in that match because the match was good, like you said. It just got overshadowed by the match before it. So, but like we said, man, if you are not watching 205 Live and you're listening to this, literally, go back, I would say, go back right after WrestleMania and start watching it. Yeah. And every episode is pretty good except for last week's. That was probably the worst one they've done in a while. But man, every bit of it's good, and I don't understand why people want to dog it.
Gotta give it a shot.
Yeah, you've got to give it a shot. And I think if you just watch it, to be like, okay, I'm not going to go into it hating it, dogging it. I think if you just watch it to watch it, that wrestling fans will really enjoy it. So next up, we've got NXT, episode 391 from May 10th, 2017. So the show opens up with the guy we love, Aleister Black, versus Cesar Bononi. I think that's how you pronounce that dude's last name.
I want to say what I wrote down because I think it's funny because I'm watching this.
Did you say
I put versus new tall ass guy.
New tall ass guy. What you could just say jobber. I thought you was going to say jabroni is what you would have put down because it's almost like rhymes with his last name. There's not a whole lot here. I think it was cool to watch him hit his finisher without lifting them up with his foot.
Yeah.
To show that, hey, it's like an out of nowhere move. And as a fan of wrestling, I love those.
In that match, you got to see see what they're doing with Aleister Black now. I don't know if you noticed it, but he does a little bit more of the stuff he used to do.
That's what I wrote down. Knee strikes like Tommy End.
So he's going to unveil his whole repertoire.
And I was just complaining about that. So
and I figured this out. Sorry. Here's what they're going to have because they interviewed Drew back in
Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. Was it during this show or last week? And they talk about the top stars or whatever, and they mentioned Aleister Black, and I got to thinking, I was like, and I've been saying for a long time they're going to put them on a train on a course to hit each other. Aleister Black is not going to have his whole repertoire out, and that's how he's going to win that match. It's going to be one hell of a match, and he's going to do something he ain't seen him do yet, and that's how he's going to beat him.
Okay, well, I'm glad you brought that up because you've been talking about it. Now, you look at these two guys. This is our guy. like you said, how would you put him versus a new tall ass guy? Guy's about the size of Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
And I thought that, and I literally put size compared to Drew. And so if you put these two on a collision course, you're actually going to see how Aleister Black compares size-wise to Drew McIntyre, who is literally the tallest guy on NXT.
Yeah.
Like, literally, he's your big show over there.
What's his name? Every episode we go back and...
That dude's bad. He's not
I love it. We go back and...
Oh, shit, man. Let me go back.
I've been back and do this for...
Dylan Miley.
Yeah.
Dylan Miley. That was almost a month ago, too.
Yeah.
So, and he hasn't been back yet.
NXT they take breaks.
Okay. So, now let's get on to the supposed fatal four-way in Chicago. So last week, we did our NXT thing with you trying to figure out how Asuka was going to drop the belt in a fatal four-way between her, Ember Moon, Nikki Cross, Ruby Riott. When we ended it, I said, well, guess what? You got a whole week to think about that because you were really confused on how you were going to do it. Well, guess what? Thanks to Ember Moon's horrible botch last week, you don't have to worry about it now.
Nope, she ain't dropping the belt now.
So you don't think she's going to drop the belt now?
I feel like they wanted to put it on Ember Moon, and they wanted that's the way. But they didn't want her to pin Asuka for it.
Yeah.
But now she's not in the match, and you got these other two who are rivaling each other. So I don't see how you're going to give a belt to one of them that's rivaling each other because then Asuka's on a rematch. It's going to be really freaking weird, unless they both pin Asuka or something.
Okay. Well, no.
That could happen.
No. Here's how I think they do this. Okay, so...
But Nikki Cross is over like no other right now.
Okay, yeah. We'll
so is Ruby Riott.
We're going to group a lot of this female stuff together right here because this is what I thought was going to happen. We believe that Asuka needs to drop that belt without being pinned.
Yes.
Right? Here's how you do it. So Nikki Cross, Ruby Riott hate each other. I mean, that's good for Ruby Riott. She shows up, gets a big push. Literally, besides the iconic duo, Nikki Cross is one of the biggest female heels they've got. Right. So you got this three-way. Bell goes off. Them two, boom, they go after each other, and Asuka's just watching them. So so the match will go on. Are you in this match? It's just like how she interfered in the Battle Royal last week that lost in a weird way because they stopped the match. She knocks both of them out, and she leaves. One of them rolls over and pins the other, puts a hand on him.
That'd be awesome.
So Nikki Cross wins the title. You continue their rivalry, and now it's over the title between her and Ruby Riott.
Yeah. Asuka wouldn't need a rematch. That's the only bad thing.
But who says she wants one? Why would she want a rematch when she's already beat everybody?
Yeah.
All she's proven is I can still beat everybody. So who says she needs a rematch? If she's proven she needs competition, she leaves. She doesn't worry about it. I think that's a perfect way to do it. And honestly, Ember Moon, if that's a legit injury, that is the best thing that could have happened to this four-way if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, they could totally have it where she gets in the ring and they go at it and then she beats them up real quick and she walks out all cock-like,
Yeah, she's fine.
And then she's running out there trying to stop the 3 count. She slides in too late or some shit. And
No. She doesn't. No, she doesn't worry about it.
Yeah.
She lays them both out and was like, she's got this attitude like, man, why do I even care about this anymore? And then leaves, and Nikki Cross just happens to go, I know you can't see me through this, but puts her hand on her because they're just unconscious, and the ref counts 3 and she wins the title. And Asuka, while she's doing it, Asuka's like walking up to her and leaving. She's done with NXT. I think that would be great because you get the belt off Asuka clean. She still looks strong because she just laid out the 2 women in her match. And then you continue the rivalry between Nikki Cross and Ruby Riott. And now it's over the title.
That'd be good. I like it.
So let's get let's pile up these women promos and whatnot. So Ember Moon, she's at the Performance Center and she's out of the 4-way for Chicago.
Yeah.
So do you think that's a legit injury or is it all story?
I think it's a legit injury.
Because you could tell she really missed that up
Yeah.
last week. God, that was horrible. So, and I'm wondering if the WWE will look at that now and be like, man, if she messes up that bad, because that's a horrible mess up.
Yeah.
Well, do you really want her as your champion?
I think it's going to slow her down.
I think it's going to slow her down.
She hurt people with her finisher. She jumped through the ropes and hurt herself.
Yeah.
And there for a long time I wanted them to give the belt to her, but not since Nikki Cross and Rhea Ripley throwing down. Let them go at it.
Okay, so and then we get to this Ruby Riott promo where we were talking about her. They're going on her tattoos.
Oh yeah.
So and they're building her up based on what she's been through to get here. That she's missed all this family stuff and friend stuff, weddings and whatnot, to get her here. It's almost just like the kind of way they built Roderick Strong up these last 2 years. Yeah,
And he lost.
Yeah, and he lost.
He's gonna lose.
Yeah, he lost, which we'll get to. And then
shit! Should have said that yet.
Yeah.
Sorry, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
I don't think people listen to this for spoilers.
Yeah, because obviously they've had to watch NXT by now. And then we get to the best promo.
Damn, I wrote that promo of the week.
Yeah, that is
second life.
So this is the angle of the week. Nikki Cross. Man, I don't think you could have done that any better with her.
They got her acting a complete batshit crazy.
Yeah, she should be in a lunatic asylum. She should date Dean Ambrose, story wise.
Yeah.
They're both off their freaking rocker. I thought it was really good because how she's she just jumps up in the seat and she's got that crazy look, and she doesn't want the microphone on her. And then she's swatting the microphone above her head. And then I like how she just slowly gets up in the camera. And she's it's almost like she thought they were supposed to be there, during this interview, And really, really well done.
Yep. It was great.
Yeah, it was really great. So now, basically, the four-way's turned into a three-way. And like I showed you, I think now what we would like to see happen can be done even easier.
Yep.
So, and to continue on with this theme for NXT, there's a lot of this promo build-up in NXT. It's really good for the show.
Yep.
You find out Pete Dunne won a title shot against Tyler Bate at TakeOver Chicago.
That show is going to be freaking awesome.
Man, they're building that up because you seen what they did at the end of the UK title tournament. Man.
I wonder what all the matches for that is going to be. Sorry.
Okay. Well, let's go over them real quick. You got that. You got the women's title. So far. Well, let's wait till we get to some other stuff.
What was he saying before that?
And you just recently watched that match, the UK title. Yeah. And so it's fresh in your mind how good that match was.
Badass is what it is.
Yes.
So is Tyler Bates, man.
And so they give this whole thing with Pete Dunne. I'm Pete Dunne. I'm the bruiserweight. And then they talk about his smile. That's not a smile. That's a smirk because basically he's a mean motherfucker.
He is.
And then then they do one with Tyler Bate later on in the show, and basically it's your mean ass guy versus your really nice guy, and they're gonna fight at Chicago. And I'd like to ask you who you think's gonna win that, but we'll cover that next week before Saturday. So. We get Drew McIntyre interview, and we've been talking about how we like to see this closing course with him and Tommy End, and Wesley Blake shows up and kind of disrupts the interview. So, kind of drives me crazy because Drew McIntyre is getting almost known jobbers to fight, where Aleister Black gets no known jobbers to beat up. So, obviously, we want to see these two guys fight each other.
I think that's why they keep throwing the jobbers. They're going to build up the non-jobbers.
Well, I think they're slowly realizing that they've got so much big-time talent. How are they going to stagger it all out? Especially with the main event tonight. So, this is probably the weakest point of the show.
On the what?
Of the show. This is probably the weakest point of NXT. This is just a little interview with Drew McIntyre.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, next we get DIY and a jobber tag team match. I couldn't even tell you them two guys' names.
These guys surprised me.
Yeah, they were good.
I'm like, fuck. I don't know who they are. I don't know if they're if they've been on the dark, if they had dark matches maybe.
Okay, probably.
But these guys actually wasn't horrible on their microphone. They wasn't great, and their wrestling is actually really good.
Yeah, I thought they did a really good job against DIY, but it's what we get to towards the end because they've been talking about how they're supposed to have a clean rematch. So the commissioner comes out, GM, and you're gonna have a ladder match at Chicago between AOP. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like this is where AOP loses.
Yeah, I think it's kind of garbage. They put them in a match that's actually not for AOP.
Well,
it's like Regal doing them a favor, and I'm like, why would you do them a favor? They lost twice to this team, basically.
Yeah, with the Revival's help.
And I'm like, here's what I think may happen. Because Heavy Machinery wants AOP. I think they're going to interfere.
And DIY was taking shots.
I think they're going to interfere in the damn match.
You think they'll do that this soon?
Maybe not. Well, they got to, because you can't give DIY. You cannot let them beat them in a ladder match. You can't let them beat them at all. They've destroyed them already twice. And maybe with the interference of Heavy Machinery, somehow they win. But I don't want them to win, because I want Heavy Machinery to go up to fight them, because it'd be all big guys in the ring.
Well, you bring up a good point. It's pointless to put DIY over the Authors of Pain in a ladder match when here recently DIY and the Revival couldn't beat them together.
Yes.
So
they're going to
you give them ladders?
Braun all over again. They're going to flip the ambulance, and then they're going to have to fight Kalisto.
I'm telling you.
I mean,
like, I hate this, and I feel like anytime this is done with a ladder match, it's made for the bigger guys, size-wise, to lose. It's like, kind of like Kane, every time he's been in a ladder match, like, he doesn't want to climb the ladder, he's afraid of heights. But I hope that this is where Authors of Pain, like, literally destroy them and put them out of action for a while.
They should.
Yeah, they should. They really need to. So there's one of your matches. You're like, what's going on in Chicago? A lot of that was made tonight.
Chicago. I was a little bit mad that it took Heavy Machinery out, but they're not. They shouldn't be fighting them quite yet.
Yeah, well, they're going to get there.
Yeah.
I think they're next in line. We get some more. What was the guy from last week that we were talking about? That's about to debut. I can't think of his name. Velvet Dream.
Yeah.
Man, that just looks like that's a gimmick. That guy's gonna get buried. That's not gonna sell.
It looks horrible.
But guess what? You take a guy like that, you put him with the fashion police.
Yeah, it sells.
It'll sell. So then we get a Cassius Ohno interview where he talks about how he could beat Bobby Roode. Once again, another guy. What do you do with him?
Yeah, they had too many people. After Mania, I knew they was going to move people up, move people around. I really thought they were going to move DIY away from that.
I really did too.
And they're still stuck down here with AOP. They're moving up Heavy Machinery. You got too much going on. You bring back a Tommy, and then him and Strong are fighting. You know Rude when he's gone. You're going to have a Tommy there, and then you've got Aleister Black and McIntyre moving up, and then you get to Cassius Ohno, who came back and had a title shot and lost. So all that in a nutshell is what we've been preaching. They have too much talent on NXT right now.
They do.
You think they're going to move some of these guys around when they get the UK going? Mm-hmm. They're going to have to.
Yeah. Okay. So, and this is kind of what I'm getting to. Okay. So, Cien Almost comes out.
Another really good jobber. Super jobber.
Now think about this. So, since TakeOver, where they just at Orlando.
Yeah.
Cien Almost will job to Aleister Black.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre. Cassius Ohno in almost a month's time.
Maybe they'll have a triple threat match or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, but that's what I'm getting at, though. It's like, what do you do with these three guys? Oh, they're individually just going to fight Cien Almost.
Yeah.
So maybe you should just have a fatal four-way and then let Almost get the win.
Yeah.
for getting his ass whooped so many times. But that's just it. They're getting so much talent. It's like, how do you stagger it out without making them all look weak because you want to make them look strong? And that's the problem here recently. Like you said, they got too much talent. And it's almost a problem they haven't seen almost since NXT got big.
Yeah, we talked about all this, and we haven't even talked about Insanity.
Yeah, exactly. And they weren't even on this week's show.
And I still think Aleister Black will mow through them at one point, and I'm wondering if you should have McIntyre do the same thing, and maybe that's how they meet each other. I don't know.
Well, maybe, because you already got this with Cien almost, and everybody's mowing through him, and he's a really good wrestler. So, like I said, man, that's... What are you going to do with all these people? Like I said, this is probably the most talent they've had in a while, and I think back to last year around WrestleMania, and you had, which I wouldn't call Baron Corbin, represent Baron Corbin, got a shirt on today. I wouldn't call him a big talent then, but you still had Sami Zayn.
Yep.
You had Nakamura, Aries, Balor, Joe down there.
Yep.
Who else is still down there at that time? Seems like I'm missing somebody. Rude hadn't showed up yet. Okay, then let's just look. Okay, so that's just 5. And I would say that's, well, you had a Tommy, but he was, Dale Tommy was out. Yeah. So let's just say it's 6 at that time. And that's probably about, at that time I'd say that's their biggest amount. And they had that pretty well worked out. Like everybody had their spot at the time. Okay, and then now you've got Rude, you've got Hideo Itami, you've got Roderick Strong, you've got Aleister Black, you've got Drew McIntyre, you've got Cassius Ohno, and like you said, you got Insanity, so you got Eric Young there.
You know, one time I think about it, has Rude had an actual match since WrestleMania on NXT? I think all of his stuff's just been beginning or end of the shows.
He's a champ. What's the matter?
It's just weird that he hasn't had a single match.
Oh, he's not on the show, but he's had matches at house shows. So, but that's the thing. You've got to stagger out all his talent now.
So you know he's getting. I think Tommy's beating him. Tommy's beating him, and Rude's going to the main roster.
So you think Well, let's talk about that once we get to the main event.
You have to do that to slim down this list.
Well, we'll talk about that as we get to the main event. Wait. Before we do, I mean, and even with all these guys, you have their women's division takes up a good chunk of NXT.
It does.
Okay, you look at everything that's built up in this show, Ruby promo, Nikki interview, little interview with Ember Moon. You didn't even get the iconic duo.
No.
What's that, Liv Morgan? Not on the show.
Liv Morgan.
They're really pushing her up too, so that's your man. And Asuka isn't even on the show.
No.
Yeah, they're up there. So you got these 4. You got Asuka. You got the duo. Literally, NXT has more better women's wrestlers than Raw and SmackDown together.
They do.
So I mean, and I think, man. So, and they take up a good chunk of the show every week, and you still got these guys to stagger out. Like we've been saying, NXT's got to go 2 hours.
They say that live NXT is the shit.
Yeah, which it was just in St. Louis every week, and like. People kept saying, "Oh, it was up." No, I didn't see it. And like my buddy Jake went, he said it was awesome.
Yeah.
So
I was on vacation. I could have went.
God damn, Glenn Surface and your freaking wedding and everything flooding. But anyways, let's go ahead and get to the main event since we're talking about this. So we got Roddy versus Hideo Itami for the #1 contender.
Oh, hey, hold on. Sorry to interrupt you, but I just noticed my botch of the week is coming in the DIY match. Is it Tonka? What's his name? The other guy.
Oh, Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, Ciampa. He goes to do a knee, and the guy's supposed to stand up, and he's laying on the ground. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, he just dropped it on it. I didn't see that as a botch. I thought that was really cool.
I know. I was like, he's supposed to get up.
Yeah, he's supposed to get up, and he just dropped it right on his chest.
Sorry to interrupt you before we get to the main event, but
no, I'm glad you brought that up because I totally forgot about that. Because I thought, man, the only thing that's worth this is the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I seen that because it's right after Johnny Wrestling does the dive.
Yep.
And then and I'm like, man. That guy didn't even get up, and he jumped, and I'm like, oh, shit, I bet that really hurt, too. But anyways, to the main event, Roderick Strong versus Hideo Itami. Great match. 20 minutes.
Match.
And, I remember when it come on, I was just watching the timer on the network, thinking, all right, wonder how much time they're going to get. Oh, wow, they got like 22 minutes. So you had about 2 minutes worth of entrance. And then I'm like, man, I hope they don't do something at the end. And they didn't do anything at the end, really, besides a hug, raise your arm, and, you know, walking out of the ring. So they really had a solid 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Great match. I don't think it had a lot of high spots or anything like that for, you know, for being such a built-up match. But it's pretty solid. I like how Roderick Strong, anytime he had a submission, he was really working on a Tommy surgery. Surgery for shoulder. Can't even talk, getting tongue-tied. And I thought that was really neat for a guy that hadn't wrestled in well over a year and a half. Yeah, so to focus on that, and I thought that was really good storytelling right there. One thing I really thought was cool was how Roderick Strong grabbed him and tossed him into the ring apron.
Oh, that was awesome.
Man, that had to hurt. I mean, you know that had to be killing him. And then he worked on the back a lot.
When he caught him, threw him in the ring apron, it didn't even look like he was supposed to catch him like that.
No, it did not. And then he had the backbreaker, which he's really known for. Had grabbed him off the top rope, dropped him in the backbreaker.
Was vicious.
That's what he's known for. But through the whole match, I really felt that Roderick Strong had most of the offense during the whole match.
I think he did.
And it's almost like, I kind of felt like he had a carry, Tommy?
I think they was wanting to showcase that his TKO is what's going to be able to beat Robert Roode.
TKO? GTS?
Yeah, GTS, whatever. I call it TKO, but...
Okay.
I think that's what they was trying to do.
So, yeah, I think that's what they're trying to get at, and I think it was just that maybe Tommy was just so out of shape.
Yeah. Being,
on the shelf, and then trying to come back and then going right back to the shelf. But, yeah, they really made emphasis on, this one move. Even though they had a really good striking section with each other, and still that was the whole thing. And I like how, he sold it like, I'm going to wait for him to hit me and then pick him up and drop him in it. And so he gets the win. So, you were real big on Aleister Black taking out Bobby Roode. You don't think Tommy's going to take him out, take the title from him?
Oh, yeah, he'll take the title from him.
So you think he's going to take the title from him?
I think if you don't, you got to. We got to dilute the.
You got to thin the herd.
We got to thin the herd, and Roode's ready to move up. But man, when he moves up, what the hell are they going to do? Because them are stacked cards too. Really, SmackDown and Raw.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I know you can move him up, but damn, you got all this other stuff going on. Can you throw him involved?
Mm-hmm.
You got to move him up.
Well, let's worry about that. If that happens, come Takeover. Once we get to that, let's just say, let's look at both scenarios here, since we now know who the number one contender is. If Bobby Roode wins, who does he face next? Is this where they give the shot to Roderick Strong?
I think you probably have another one of those. Roderick Strong will fight somebody else for a number one contender, and it'll probably be Cassius Ohno.
Well, see, here's what I think. I think no matter who wins, I think Roderick Strong faces him again. I think that Roderick Strong, they're going to see, wow, you really proved yourself fighting a Tommy, and now that he's a champ, we think you should get a shot at the title now that he's got it.
I can see that.
And then I think Robert Roode beat Hito Tommy if he beats him clean. Well, you almost beat a Tommy, maybe you could beat Robert Roode.
Yeah.
So, but I think this is where Tommy beats him. And it's time for Robert Roode to take a vacation and then show up at SummerSlam.
Yep.
So, and I think that's how it goes. Now, what I wanted to get to with this, I don't know if you've seen this online, where Takeover's in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple of years ago, CM Punk on Twitter. This is, I think this is right before he actually quit, if I'm getting my timelines right. He was talking about how he stole his move from Hito when he was Kenta.
Yeah.
And he's talking to, I think it was Matt Jackson from the Young Bucks. And then, Tommy was like, ha ha, And then the day of the show, he tweeted out, Tommy did, I'm going to use my GTS in Chicago. Almost like a shot at CM Punk. Which it is. And they are in Chicago. Now, if he beats Robert Roode with a GTS, how many boos do you think he's going to get being in Chicago, using a move he created but CM Punk made famous? Because anytime they're in Chicago, it gets insane with the CM Punk.
I think he will get no moves.
You don't think so?
I think the NXT crowd, the people that will be at NXT, will be hardcore NXT fans at their pay-per-view. If it was happening in a Raw or a SmackDown pay-per-view, they would boo the shit out of him. But I think since it's in the NXT pay-per-view crowd, he won't get booed.
Okay, you say that now.
Could be wrong.
When I seen that the other day, and
could be dead wrong, but I don't think he will.
And then in the recent Bruce Pritchard podcast, Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard, they're doing the ECW stuff when they rebooted it, and he talks about how bad they were getting booed when they restarted it, even in Philly.
Huh.
And how, because it's not what people wanted.
Yeah.
And so that's a hostile crowd, and every time they're there, it's a hostile crowd. And I remember, and I was reading that article about that today, and I think it's going to end up pretty bad for him.
I'm going to check it out, because I don't think it's zero bad. You think it's pretty bad?
I think it's going to get ugly for him. Now, I'm going to say it, and people hate hearing it all the time. So him tweeting this out, just to bring CM Punk back.
I don't know. I don't think... Man, he ain't doing anything right now. He's saying, I'm going to fight.
He's never going to do an MMA match.
You got the freaking WWE calling you. You got your million sitting there to come back to.
Yeah, that's true. And here's the thing. Do you think he would go to NXT where it's more about wrestling than it is about being popular compared to Raw and SmackDown?
If he went
think about the guys we just went over everybody that's on there. Just say Roode stays there. You got a Tommy. That Battle of the GTSs, people would eat that up. Roderick Strong, Aleister Black, Drew McIntyre, Cassius Ohno, a whole bunch of indie guys for him to face.
And he was Ring of Honor back in the day. So.
Yeah, so I mean...
And I would like to see him actually fight Aleister Black. That'd be fucking badass.
Yeah, I would too. So, people hate talking. That's one thing about wrestling fans when it comes to CM Punk. They're torn. Like, half of them are like, leave it alone, fuck him, who cares? And people want him back. I want him back all the time.
I've always wanted him back, but I always said they don't need him.
They don't need him now. They don't.
Yeah.
But is this whole tweet, that one tweet, Chicago is the perfect place to hit my GTS. That was his tweet. So, good way to bring Punk back. Because the WWE is notorious for using Twitter to start stuff.
Yeah. But if he came back there, if he went to NXT and he came back, I mean, would he interfere in a match? Would he show up on the apron at the end?
Tommy wins. Everybody's cheering him. And then you get... And then he shows up at the top of the ring.
Yeah. The only bad thing about that, it would completely destroy Tommy at that point.
It would. But, okay. Let's look here. Out of all them big guys I just named, how many of them are heel? Roode.
Yeah, just Roode.
If Roode leaves, you need a heel.
You gotta have a heel, actually.
And none of these guys are playing heel yet.
It's kind of right.
I mean, Drew McIntyre's probably about the only guy that's used to being a heel, really. And he's never done it in a serious capacity.
But man, who says you need heels in this?
Yeah, I don't think you need heels at all.
Yeah,
I think if you just keep pushing babyface against babyfaces, it makes it better.
Yeah.
But, so I just seen that yesterday and I thought, man, I wonder if this is a work to tease. Because, okay, I love CM Punk to death. I really do. He is one of those wrestlers that has affected fans of WWE that's going to stick around forever. Okay, I think it's been 3 years now.
Yeah.
Since he quit.
2014.
And on average, a month, how many times do you think you get CM Punk a chance? So that's 4 Raws a week, 4 SmackDowns a week.
I'm trying to think of how every time they're in Chicago
You get 'em.
or they're close to Chicago, they're going to get them. I would say it really died down when you're not around Chicago right now.
I think no, because I think we get it when everybody's bored. That's
Yeah.
when they start chanting. So I mean, it's to me, it's like Steve Austin's what, and the yes for Daniel Bryan. It's something that's stuck around, and for it to be around for this long, people still do it. It's okay. Even when I went to Kate last month, people were chanting it, and it was at a house show. So I mean, the guy still has that type of sway with the crowd. So I mean, and you read where he said he saved up his money and whatnot, you know. But man, money runs out. Like I said, he goes all in Blackhawks games. He goes all in Cubs games. He's got to be running out of money.
Yeah,
has to be. I mean, AJ Lee's not doing anything. He does some stuff for like the Nerdist every now and then. You know, a lot of these like nerd websites. Not that there's anything wrong with that because we're nerds.
Yeah.
But you know, eventually I think he's going to come back. And I think I've seen where people talked about him and they're like, "Well, do you think he'd come back to Ring of Honor?" A lot of people think that, or like New Japan. Man, NXT for him right now is perfect. Even though I'd much rather see him go on the main card and fight Samoa Joe again, Seth Rollins, and those guys. But NXT, I think for his mentality, it's perfect.
It would fit in great.
The thing is, he's got such a dominating personality and character. I think he kind of would, man, he'd overshadow everybody. I mean, especially when it comes to the microphone, except for Bobby Roode. And if he leaves, I think that would actually be a great match right there.
If he comes, Bobby Roode ain't going nowhere.
Because I'd like to see him. But here's the thing. Do you think it'd be right to give him the title just because he come back?
No. You probably feud him with somebody else that's not in the title picture. Somebody attack him or something.
Okay, so that in the world where he would come back, that sticks us back to the point that Aleister Black's not fighting anybody big, Drew McIntyre's not fighting anybody big, Cassius not fighting anybody big. Right now, Eric Young and Insanity not fighting anybody big. So I mean, you just throw him in the loop of what are we gonna do with all these guys?
Yeah, I guess you're right. You're going that loop.
So the question. Next Saturday, would CM Punk come back to NXT? Probably not. Probably not going to happen. But the tweet was a good thing to get fans going. That's why I wanted to bring it up.
If he goes back, you better make it a 2-hour live show.
Man, you better give him about 15 minutes like when Roman did after Mania. Just stand there.
Yeah.
Because boy, people are going to cheer, cheer, cheer. So, and then, you know, you got Backlash at Chicago the next night. Yeah, but it's going to come back.
At the same time, I'm like, I don't want him to come back to NXT. I think it would destroy some of these other guys trying to move.
I want him to come back, but it's got to be the main roster.
Because some of these other guys moving up, they're going to be bigger than him once they get done, I think.
I think you know.
Bobby Roode, man.
Bobby Roode will be as big as him.
He's so badass.
Right now, man, honestly, right now, I think the only two guys on the roster that are bigger than him, if you look at popularity-wise over time, would be Styles and Nakamura.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody else on the roster is
You're probably right.
bigger than CM Punk.
It has to just be them two.
Yeah, it is. I mean...
It was Dana Bryan, but he went out.
So, I mean, yeah. But, basically that wraps up our episode 11 of Angles and Promos. Got some good stuff coming up here next week with Backlash and NXT TakeOver Chicago.
Yep.
But we're the Villains, man. We're your hosts on JVD, Justin Von Doon.
And this is Evan the Great.
You can go like us on Facebook and follow us. You can follow me at our Villains the Man Twitter account. Evan the Great runs Angles and Promos, which is what you're listening to right now. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and listen to this. And keep it between the ropes, guys.
This is Ha Ha